Hello everybody, and welcome back to Craftinomical. My name is Naragath, and in the last episode we got some more work done on Thaumcraft, and in between episodes I've been rather busy. As far as Thaumcraft is concerned, I haven't done a whole lot of research, but I have been messing around with this area here. As you can see, it's quite a bit different look-wise, so I went ahead, put these great wood planks down here. Now, obviously I am not done with this area. I'm just kind of, figuring out exactly what I want to do with it, doing it bit by bit. I'm not 100% on these oak stairs. I'll probably change these to something else. They're not bad, but I think I can find something better. I may even try making more slopes instead of stairs. We'll see. Might have to employ chisel and bits for that. But anyway, raise this up a block. Put a bunch of zombie heads over here. What this does, if you don't know, any zombie heads and candles and basically cult paraphernalia, as it's called, will lower the amount of instability you have to deal with while you're doing some infusion crafting. So this will help for anything else that we need to do with infusion crafting. Once we get to the greater focus for our aromancy, which not quite there yet. I still need to get these theory aromancies, but I have made the advanced focus, which I think was in the last episode. I haven't actually edited that episode, and I went off and recorded another episode. So forgive me if I'm kind of jumping around a little bit on that. And I'll explain the other episode thing here in a minute. But anyway, once we get the theory aromancy, then we can get access to a greater focus, which we'll have to craft with this. And having these zombie heads is going to be a big help. I have a feeling. So anyway, beyond that, been doing a lot of breaking down of items that I don't need, just getting the essentia from them. So we have plenty of gellum and metallum, yeah, and bestium, and then herba. We got a ton of herba, a lot more than I want, but yeah, I was going for things like instrumentum and proditio and a few others. So having a lot of these is not bad, because we'll be using it for the infusion crafting, and then we can also use it later on for cog stuff. So yeah, I'm not upset about having a lot of these. I may go back later and try to organize these so we can better find things, instead of having you show here, metallum here, metallum over there. I'll probably go around trying to fix that later. But anyway, beyond that, as far as Thaumcraft is concerned, I haven't done much. That's the main extent of what I've done. And that smeltery setup is really nice. I started at 99 flux in that chunk, and once I was done smelting, I don't know, I'd say a couple hundred items. It was a lot of items that I went ahead and just smelted down because I didn't need them. I stayed at 99, so we're good on flux. I don't have to worry about it, and I can just smelt away. I'm really happy with that. But anyway, I was talking about that episode that I recorded. And you will have noticed that this episode is coming out right after the previous episode where I worked on Thaumcraft. Well, the intent was to do a roguelike dungeon for the episode, which I did. However, when I was going through the footage, I was constantly dipping down from 60 FPS to like 10 FPS. And, instead of cutting it up and trying to make it, at least watchable, I decided I'm just going to go over the loot. We're going to move on. Because we got some really good loot from it. The main thing was this sword here. 27 damage before sharpness. I still need to get sharpness on it, but 27 damage, that's pretty big. It'll one-shot a lot of mobs. But anyway, I went ahead and changed it. Got knockback 2, roll 3, and aspect 2. So getting like zombie heads and stuff like that, real easy. But anyway, went ahead. Also got the shovel here, which is pretty decent. Went ahead and changed this one. It didn't have efficiency 4 shoulder bend on it before, but now it does. Nothing too crazy about it. And then the slime strike, which is useful, but I need to get some other enchantments on it. Power 4 wither arrow is nice, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel very strong. It feels about as strong as my focus that I have ice bolts on, which are at max power and max duration. So, anyway, moving on from there. As far as shards, you know, we got a few shards. You know, not a ton, but a few. I got a lot of good books. Got a multi-shot. I got Infinity, which I'm going to put on the bow here in a bit. And holding 4. I'm breaking 3, protection 3. 2 wither arrow enchantments, and then a multi-shot protection 4 book, which I'll also be putting on the bow as well, so I get a multi-shot in there. As far as spawners, got our Enderman and Creeper spawner, then a bunch of other random ones that I'm going to be changing to other mobs later on. And then the most important part, got a music disc. I hope you can tell the sarcasm in my voice there. Anyway, it's cool that we got it, but it's a music disc. In fact, I could probably set up a music disc farm. It wouldn't be too hard. Anyway, like I said, moving on. The main thing for today is going to actually be in town. You know, I put this up. You have moved. Who moved you? Anyway. I put this up. I left it up for a little while, kind of deciding if I like it. I don't like it. So I'm going to tear this entire thing down, and I'm going to follow suit Turtle here. I'm going to make a tower. Mine's probably not going to be as detailed, not as fancy, maybe because I'm starting to kind of move to my base, so I just want something that's going to be kind of cool to look at. Will have function here in town, you know, if I need to do any smelting, things like that. I'm going to take my spawner out for a couple reasons. For one, I want to move my spawners over to my base. You know, that's first and foremost. The other reason is with my spawner, let's see if we have any in there right now. I think Turtle actually took care of that, but anyway. He has a shulker spawner over in his base, which is just a little ways over that direction. And when they teleported, instead of going to being killed in his mob spawner, they were teleporting over to mine, getting grabbed by my ender tether. And the problem with that wasn't, you know, that they were coming over here. The problem was that they weren't getting killed. So I could have easily set up something where you know, if I get a shulker shell, I send it over to him. Could have easily done something like that. But when they teleported right on that end tether, but not on the spike. So they never took any damage, which is, yeah, less than ideal. So I'm thinking, if I take this out and all that, Turtle doesn't have to worry about that, and, you know, well, I'll have this over in my main base. Alright, welcome back everyone. So, I went ahead and tore down the old building that was here. Yeah, it's pretty easy, you know, nothing too crazy. Went ahead, flattened these 2 chunks out, and this last one here I've left open, as I'm not sure exactly what level I'm going to put it at. I'll figure that out once I get the building in, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, one thing I will note is this Axe of the Stream, which is it is relatively easy to make. You just make a thaumium axe, put a couple things around it, and then you get this Axe of the Stream. This thing is actually kind of cool. Let's go ahead and get some planks out here. I'll just kind of demonstrate this guy real quick. If I can jump. But yeah, let's say put out a bunch of these planks here. And right now, I don't have ring of magnetization or anything like that. And so normally, you know, vein mining this, I'd have to go around and collect it all up, you know, and all that. But with this axe here, it's all to me. So that's pretty sweet. And actually, it's pretty good durability as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, the other thing I did is I went ahead and ground down a bunch of cobblestone to get some gravel and sand. I'm going to be using a lot of black concrete. So I went ahead and also started making some of this organic black dye, which I'm making this with grinding down some charcoal here. Just grinding this down and then combining it with eggs to make the organic black dye. So that's actually pretty cool. Nice way of doing it, a little bit easier than, going out and killing a bunch of squid or, finding Botania black flowers, things like that. I find that a little bit easier with my current setup. Since I already have a way to make charcoal, yeah, it's easy. And then I have a ton of eggs. Ready to go. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and switch to a third-person time-lapse and get this tower all built up for you guys. And we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, and welcome back everyone. So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a time-lapse. I would have done replay, but yeah, I was having a little bit of an issue getting it to actually work. So I just brought my camera account on and did some recording. It's been a while since I've done that, so I felt a little out of practice, but we got most of it anyway. So as you didn't see in the time-lapse, I put in a second floor here and put in the machinery, a couple of the generators here. Probably gonna put some more generators in elsewhere. This just looks good to me, so I put that in there. And if I bring it to my item conduit, you can see that I've went ahead and hooked them all up to each other so that they're all interconnected, transferring items, power, whatnot, and all that. And in addition to that, if we go down to the bottom floor, we also have some capacitors hidden behind these pillars here, and that I can take a look at the input and output just by holding my wrench or my item conduit instead of having to break it open. Otherwise, when you come in, you won't see it. You'll just see the pillars, so I think it looks pretty cool. So, yeah, and then went ahead and put my statues up here, and I think that's looking pretty cool. Just a funny little thing. And I don't have a window here just yet, mainly because I've been going, between the second floor here down to the bottom there a lot. So, it's a little bit easier than hitting the elevator here and going through the doors here, which are, pretty cool. They're from the Twilight Forest, if you don't know, from the castle. So, we got those, the front and the back. Speaking of the front, I went ahead and did a little bit of chisel and bitsing, nothing too crazy. Just went ahead, and then here, I also did that on the back wall as well. And I also kind of rounded the corners off here on the front here. So I think that looks pretty cool. I enjoy it. So, and as far as the outside goes, we have a butcher head. Thanks, butcher, I think. Anyway, from the outside, kind of get a good view of it. I think it came out rather well. Yeah, for what I had, compared to what I had before to what I have now. I mean, I wasn't going for anything that really competed with Super Turtle and his tower. I just wanted to go with something that kind of fit in with it, and also, you know, felt good to me to make. So, yeah, and it looks like we got Butcher starting to work on this thing over here. I'm not sure exactly what he's going for yet, but I'm thinking this is more of a shop that he's putting in right there. Anyway, other than the tower going up, really haven't done much else. Haven't redesigned down here yet. What I do have, though, is this chest here that's collecting, you know, the stuff from the spruce saplings. I'm exporting everything that's not wood out to the trash can here, so this isn't getting backed up, and then wood is going over here. And from there, this is going to the redstone furnace up at the top. Then the charcoal's coming down here, and also going to the generators as well. So that's pretty cool, pretty nice. That works just fine. And one other thing I probably should mention is there isn't nearly as much lag over here. Part of that is a lot of us, we are taking our part in trying to reduce it. I know myself and Super Turtle have really been cracking down on it. But I went ahead and took out my drawers here, and that seems to help a bit. So yeah, I moved all the doors that were here over to the new base. Right now they're just kind of sprawled out in in the room there until I figure out a better solution, whether that's AE2 or refined storage when I do it. But yeah, it's making coming around here in spawn a lot more lag friendly, I guess. I'm not dropping frames nearly as bad as I was. So yeah, that's what I got here. So now what I want to work on is with these tools here. I don't know of a good way to repair them, so I want to start on actually Editions and get into its repair that it has. So if I'm not mistaken, this thing right here will repair anything that you put into it. Now, it's going to require a good bit. I'm going to need to get an Empower up and running, which I haven't messed with much. I have an idea of how it works and all that. But, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and get some things put together, and I will meet up with you guys in a moment. Alright, and welcome back, everyone. So, I've got a few things put together that I want to use. And, I'm also, got dirt. So the whole reason why I was getting into actual Editions was to make the repairs, so I could repair my shovel. You'll notice that it is suspiciously missing from my inventory, and not because I put it away for safekeeping. I was busy digging down below, listening to some music and watching a stream, and yeah, I didn't pay attention to the dirt really. So we need to make a new shovel. So what I'm thinking is there's one from Thaumcraft that I might just go ahead and make, just to make it. Yeah, it's this guy right here. Shovel the Earth Mover. I don't know what the destructive part of it does, so that's the other reason why I want to make it, just to find out. So we're going to go ahead and make that here in a little bit. I may show a clip of that, I may not, I don't know. I already have the shovel, the Thaumium shovel made. I just need to get over to the new base and craft it. But anyway, moving on. I went ahead and made this atomic reconstructor here, so I could start making some of the actually Edition stuff. Figured just put it here. That's what's fine with it. So that works there. And if we go down below here, which I'm thinking I'm just going to make an elevator and just put it underneath it so I can, teleport down instead of having to do this anyway. Because of course I'm going to cover this up eventually, once I figure out what I want to do with that. But anyway, I started clearing out this area over here that you can see, and this is where the Empower is going to go. And yes, I said it like that on purpose. Now, I've never actually used this thing. I have an idea of how it works. I've never actually used it myself. So I have that, and now... So I'll meet you guys at the new base as I'm crafting a new shovel. Alright, and welcome back, everyone. So, I went ahead and got everything I needed, I think. Yeah. I have everything that I need for crafting this shovel. So let's go ahead and get this underway. I don't think that'll make that much of a difference, will it? Actually, that's actually kind of the way it showed it, so we should be good there. Okay. And I don't have a glove on me. Okay. Yep. We should have enough for all of it. Just gonna make sure that they're... Wait, hold on. That's it. I'm hoping the items are actually still there. They're just not being visible. I hope. Otherwise, that's slightly worrying. Okay, there we go. So now we have the shovel of the earth mover. Destructive, whatever destructive is. Alright. So while we're here... And yes, welcome to my wonderfully arranged storage drawers. In case you couldn't figure out, I was being a little sarcastic. Because, yes, I know this is a mess. But the idea is to eventually have a refined storage system. So it won't be a big deal. So how many of the 17 blocks do I need? Need 4 of them. Okay. And for each of them I need the light blue dye. Okay. So for now we're only gonna make 4. Eventually we'll have more. Okay. Alright. So like that, now we need lapis. Actually, we need one more of me. Boom. And then we'll make some more light blue dye. Since these make 2. Will work. And just get it out of my inventory. And let's head on back home. And let's give this thing a shot. So, let's go lock there, single, and then the die. And then if we take one of the blocks of diamond, that is gone. Oh. Okay. Don't pause it. Don't place it like that. Do shift in place? No. Oh. Alright. So what am I doing wrong? And there we go. Now that should get us the 19 blocks, which is what we actually need, not the diamond blocks themselves. Like I said, never used it, so there we go. Okay, so that shouldn't take too long, I don't think. Thank you. There we go. And so we need a empty hand? Yeah. Okay. That, that, and that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get the last of these crafted, and I'll be back with you guys in a moment. Alright, and welcome back everyone. So I think I have everything I need to finish crafting this up. I went ahead and made some empowered Inori crystals, and also made some extra empowered diamantine crystals as I'll need it for this ender casing. Made a couple of basic coils, so now let's go ahead and get that made, and there we go. If I had to guess, this probably takes power, and of course string. So, let's go ahead, place it over here. Okay. Okay. Doesn't look like the Silent Gem ones work. The Concrete ones will work though. Very nice. Just put it in and wait. It actually doesn't take a whole lot of power. It's not bad. So should be done in a moment. And there we are. So now we have a fully repaired axe. So very nice. And repaired shovel, and then the sword. Oh, apparently we can't do the sword. Oh, that's disappointing. That's very disappointing. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair that. Silent Gems pickaxe, that's not a big deal. I just get more gems to it. But the sword, that that disappoints me. I'm not sure how I can repair it then. Or if I can repair it. Other than mending? Yeah. So it looks like I'm going to have to get some mending on that. Okay. Well, that's kind of disappointing. But all is not lost. As the other thing that I want to create with this empowerer is going to be a drill. So I need some diamantine crystals. Not that. Well, I don't need the empowerer for it necessarily. Other than making those, which I already have. I think I even have enough for all that. Just need an empowered diamond crystal, which I have right there. And sugar, which is not hard. And for Suck Touch, these guys. Which is emeralds, I believe. Yes. Okay. Look into that. I think I might have to make some more of these empowered Inori crystals here in a bit. Because I could use this drying mill, or drill augment. Make the 3x3 one, that'll be fine. I don't need that, I don't think. So let's go ahead and see about making this real quick, as well as a drill. I know I have a drill core, I need some advanced cores. Or the advanced coils, rather. So just need to keep those guys. There's two of those guys. So the Inori crystal blocks, which I already have. then I think all I need is 3 of those and the drill core. Alright, and I think the drill core is right down here. Just gotta remember which chest I put it in. I think it was this one. Yep, right there. Found one of these when I was doing a roguelike, I think, Wario's village, I can't remember which. But it's one of those I saw and knew I needed to hang on to it. Sure. Let's go ahead and make some of those crystals. And before I do that, let's get it to at least stop raining. At least. And let's go ahead. Get those converted over. And then we should be able to make that full. Very nice. And I think I can charge it up in here. Nice. So while that's charging, I'm gonna get some of this sugar cane. Do I have some more? Yes. Then go ahead. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's what I want. Now, hopefully, I don't need the previous levels of augmentation. We'll find out. Let's see. Everything for that. Okay. Make some of those. So let's go ahead and make this 3x3 augment. Okay. I don't know what I was hitting. And let's go ahead and make that. How are we doing on charge? Nice. So it took less time than I was expecting. Put these in, and let's go ahead and head down to mine. Now, the only downside that I can remember from this is it doesn't like vein miner, if I remember correctly. But it seems to work just fine there. Okay. At least when we did Revelations, it didn't like vein miner. Doesn't seem to have a problem with it now. I'm definitely not going to complain if that's the case. Okay. And how does it do for power? Not bad. Be a while before I need to charge it up. Alright, so I am pretty happy with that. Alright, so looking at how much time this episode has been going on, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you guys know what to do. But until next time, guys, have a good one.